Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Uchenna and today I'm going to be talking about spiritual compatibility and what I understand by being spiritually compatible with somebody or some people. So, I added the word spiritual behind it to describe, um, to act as an adjective somehow, of compatibility. So you understand what it means because compatibility has different dimensions. What it means, what does it mean to be compatible? In simple terms, being compatible means that something or some things fit with each other. It could be one. It could be. It has to be more than one thing to compose or to comprise a fit. So it's a fit between two or more elements, you know, that creates like a single unit. So I'm talking about spiritual compatibility in within the context of relationships. Um, Relationships, yeah. So friendships also fall under relationships. And it's very crucial, it's vital to understand when you're compatible with somebody. It's not something I can teach, it's not a theoretical concept. It's something you need to, it's more of a lived experience. It's something that you feel in your guts, it's your energy that should tell you whether you're compatible with somebody or not. And for you to reach that level of awareness of feeling the incompatibility of people, you must have gone through a few experiences of other people that were not compatible with you, that brought you some kind of pain or suffering in the past, which you do not wish to experience again. And when the signs come, you're supposed to know. Now, the easiest way to explain it now is I can just use my fingers, just to define what it means again. It just came to my mind, and compatibility is like, let's say this. If you want to find what is compatible with this, you can see your left hand. Now, these fingers, they fit into the other one, into the space left by the other one, and they can form a unit like this. And even though as you hold your hand like this, you feel some tensions um, because there are two things coming together. So it tells us something that there's always a tension um, amongst two, no matter how compatible you are, like even as compatible as these two hands are, you know, there's still tension when you're holding it together. The tension is released when you separate, the hands. But something is incompatible. For example, if I bring this um, jotter, a book, or whatever, and I try to, fit it into here, it doesn't fit because it doesn't have these properties that this one has, and therefore it cannot fit into these spaces there, and it's just incompatible. It forms a kind of hole, yeah, because one has to hold the other. Um, One has to grab the other one in somehow an unnatural position. So this is how some relationships are, if not most. One person is needy and the other person is trying to hold on to something. It's just really not appropriate. So going into what I want to discuss today, basically, I say this all the time. It starts with the self. If you look at my YouTube banner, I talk about self because we need to be compatible first within ourselves. The two parts of ourselves, our strengths and our weaknesses, our fears and our courage. Um, we need to be able to marry them first within ourselves. If you can do that, then you're ready for the outside world. basically, because you know that whoever you meet, wherever you go, it's not going to be, they're not going to be perfect for you. It's impossible to feel that perfection. We have seen it in the example of the tension that we feel in the hand. Um, but you will understand, how to manage expectations, because expectation is the mother of all suffering. And when you expect somebody to be a certain way for you to be happy, that's what causes most of our suffering and our misunderstanding. Uh, when you expect another full grown human being who has been through their own um, unique life experiences and who are trying to heal themselves, who have been through their own trauma, and who have been programmed in a different way from you, and they behave in a different way and manner from you, and you expect that person um, to shrink themselves, to transform themselves. Um, it's just like bringing this thing, It's possible to cut it into a shape that has 5 fingers or 5 parts and try to fit it into your hand. But that destroys this thing itself. This thing will no longer be itself if you do that, because you're going to have to cut off some parts of it that doesn't fit um, into this. So you expect to cut off some the parts of people that don't fit into your own view of the world, and by doing that, you'll be destroying the other person's originality. You'll be trampling on their authenticity, and that's what causes toxicity in relationships. So our duty, basically, is to accept people for who they are, and the only way you can do that is by being observant, first of all. Then noticing, when people are showing you their true colors, because we always show who we are. So there's no need trying to justify or trying to reimagine who somebody can be, or who you want them to be, or who you think you can mold them to be. You cannot mold anybody to be anything. You probably can't even mold yourself to be what you want to be. So it's irrational, for us to believe that we can make somebody into what they are not. That's and with the aim, with the end game, of making ourselves happy. So expectation is the number one problem with compatibility or incompatibility. So if you want to be compatible with people, or most people, or anybody really, you have to let go of what you believe the expected outcome is going to be. By so doing, you give the person, space to be themselves, and you can observe from an objective point of view, what that person is all about, and if you can tolerate the person's behavior, because everything has to do with tolerance, first of all, for people's differences. It takes patience to be tolerant of people's differences, not weaknesses or whatever, because we are all the same. We are all flawed in our own ways or the other. Then it takes a kind of commitment, a daily commitment to accepting somebody and to loving the person, and working to live with somebody if you have to live with them. And there's also the aspect of respect. You have to respect people's individualities and their quirkiness, and how they want to live their lives, basically. So you're going to, there's no way, even the best fit or whatever, the best kind of compatible partners, still have differences. In fact, they have a lot of differences. But but the differences they don't cause that kind of friction that causes the difference they have are just like this kind of difference. It's not that much. There are plenty differences here. I'm sure if you start measuring all the fingers and everything, they're not the same. Yeah, there are differences here, but you cannot compare the type of differences in this with the type of differences in this. So our job is to find, because we are looking for ourselves in people. We believe that we can only live with somebody that is like us, or that believes in the same kind of things that we do, which is right. Your values have to align. Your beliefs about the nature of reality have to align. And this is just the part one of the video. I'm still going to go into other aspects that I'm mentioning now. Your core values, your beliefs about the nature of reality, your understanding of past experiences, your vision, of where you're going to and where you don't want to go to. This also has to do with your values again. Yeah, what kind of moralities at play, in your lives, your authenticity. These are different things, a lot of them fall under the values again, so I'll still break down the values. Yep, we're right, we are done for today. So those expectations, they are the real killers of most relationships. The man most times wants the woman to fit into what they want, and also the woman also wants the man to be who they want them to be. And this unconscious battle keeps playing out until somebody or both of them wake up to the fact that that is impossible to do, and that it's better to let each other be free in the relationship. Not free, of course, with freedom comes responsibility. With freedom, there's also boundaries to freedom. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's just the freedom to be authentic and to be real, and to have respect, mutual respect for each other. To sit down and look at your goals or your needs, and yeah. So I will be back on another video soon. Thank you.